Hey everyone, hope you're all well. I really wanted to do another girl talk video because I haven't done one for so long. I feel like I kind of fell off the radar of doing girl talk videos, and I think I found it like they can be quite difficult when I'm talking about just one topic. And I always want to be really kind of passionate and try and be as knowledgeable as I can on that topic, and it's quite difficult to think of another one. I did a video quite a while ago now of like just answering your kind of girl talk like topic-y questions, and I think you guys really liked it and I enjoy doing them, so I thought I'd do another one. So it's going to be a bit of a girl talk Q&A. It's not a normal Q&A, like I'm going to be answering questions that are a lot kind of longer, deeper, more meaningful, I guess, and hopefully that will help some of you out there. I'm not a professional by any means, but if I can just give you some kind of personal advice, I'm going to try and answer as many as I can without making this video way too long. Oh, this one caught my eye. It's not something that I've like talked about before. Anna Casts asks, when did you lose your virginity? I'm 18 and haven't practiced sex with anyone. Should I feel worried? Right, so my losing virginity story is just a bit shit, to be honest. I was almost 16, so I'm not condoning underage sex at all. I think I felt like I was so young, and I think I felt like all of my friends had done it, and it's weird because none of us actually talked about it. I just feel that there was this tension at school that kind of everyone kind of knew what it was like to have sex for the first time, and at the same kind of time there was a guy that I'd known for quite a few years, I think. But he was a dick. He was a douche. Yeah, just look at, you know, when you're young and you don't really understand, well, you think you don't understand boys, but honestly boys aren't that, in my opinion, aren't that different to girls. It's just that you think they are at that age. It was just a bit awkward. It was a bit weird. Like there wasn't love there at all. And yeah, so my experience wasn't great, and I do wish that I had waited until I found someone that I felt that love feeling for, because I don't know, I think I was just so young, I didn't really know what love was. If you're around 16, I feel like there's always going to be this kind of maybe this peer pressure thing, or this thing like maybe you're the last person to do it, but there's no good in rushing it, and especially with someone who, like, if you feel awkward with that person going into any like level of intimacy, then you shouldn't be doing it. No, you shouldn't feel awkward with them. You should feel 100% comfortable with them. I'm 18 and haven't practiced sex with anyone. Should I feel worried? No, you shouldn't feel worried at all. It's nothing to do with age. It's all to do with feeling comfortable, feeling ready. It's like, I feel like I kind of felt ready, but it just wasn't the right person. So you want to feel comfortable, that's the main thing. The best thing is if you feel like that person cares about you and cares about if you're ready or not. So no, literally it doesn't matter what age you are. You could be 30 years old and be like, I still don't feel ready, and fine, it doesn't matter. And I remember crying a few days after. I remember crying because I felt so confused, and like I kind of felt like, oh, that's it, like it's gone now, my virginity. Like I was like, oh. I think it's because I felt that he didn't care about me. So yeah. So no, don't feel bad, love, it's fine. I've probably answered a question like this before, but Angel Molly Long asks, how did you go about choosing the degree that you did? I'm really interested in doing a degree in fashion or textiles, but I'm worried it may be a waste and won't open up many job opportunities. I did an art foundation course at college, which I really enjoyed, and I really enjoyed dipping my toe into different aspects of art. Like we did photography, we just did a bit of everything, and at the end of it there was just such a pressure to like choose something at uni, like fill in, what was it called? Is it the ACAS form? I don't know. Yeah, there was such a pressure to like apply for uni, choose a course that you want to do. Mine wasn't like, oh, months of thinking about what I really wanted to do. It was more so like, shit, I need to choose something to do, and I just went and did something. It's different for everyone. Like I always say to people that I felt like mine was a bit of a waste of time, but go see if you can have a look at the kind of work that course does, and if you can like find out more about like the breakdown of the different years of work. Like, is your end goal a job that will definitely need this degree, if that makes sense? Where, you know, because for me, I didn't really have well, at first I thought I wanted to be a fashion stylist, but after doing some of the course, I was like, I don't want to be a fashion stylist. If you've got an end goal and you know that one of these courses is going to be your only kind of way there, go for it. But if you think your end goal, for your end goal, there might be different ways of getting there. You might even do better getting work experience. If you think it might be better to get an internship somewhere, then that, like in my experience, and I've met other people as well who have done it that way, and it can be more effective to just do it through work experience. So it's a really personal thing. So yeah, I thought this was a good question. This is from Marie Lorena. How do you feel about the world right now? And I feel like this is such a big kind of open question, and this could be a whole video. The world at the moment is, well, the thing is, there's kind of always horrible things happening in the world, like at whatever stage that you're looking at. At the moment, it just feels very uneasy. Like, I just feel like there's so much more, especially happening. Obviously, like what's close to home is what you're going to think about first, or it's what affects you the most. So, you know, even in London, like at the moment, it just feels a bit more unsafe, and there's just a lot of tension, like all across the world at the moment. And there's just so much that can be said about it. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm really aware that I've got a platform to talk about certain things, but at the same time, I just feel like I'm not like qualified to talk about such big issues. Like I feel like I'm not going to articulate it well enough. I'm not going to like tackle these debates well enough. I talk about things a lot with like, you know, friends and family and things, because they won't like jump down my throat if I say one thing wrong about an issue. But it's especially something you pay more attention to when you have a child as well, because you've brought a human into this world. But at the same time, there are so many good things that you can take from life, that you can see in life, and children themselves and people just create those positive things as well. Like everyday indie like makes us laugh and smile and like reminds us why we're here. And yeah, I don't know, it's a difficult question to answer. Ella Gibson 2 asks, has the way you deal with your social anxiety improved, and how do you cope with it when it comes to big events, like the fashion shows you've been to recently, etc. Love your videos. Thank you. Has the way I deal with it changed? No, not really. I mean, the last time I probably talked about it, I've probably said that the main thing I try and do is to do the things that scare me. So like more often than not, even if I'm feeling quite anxious to do something, I'll try and push myself to do it. I used to get quite anxious about big events, and I feel like that's not as much a thing anymore. I feel like I've always had this thing where I get quite anxious if it's not like a one-on-one thing, and not if it's a huge gathering, but I get more anxious if it's like a few people, like a dinner or something that's quite intimate. I was at a dinner not too long ago, and I had a bit of a... So my fear is always that like I'm gonna say something stupid and everyone's gonna look at me, or like what if there's an awkward situation or something like that. And so I didn't really know many of the people there, and like each person that I could talk to was like faced off talking to someone else, and it was a bit of a social anxiety fear, that because I kind of was like, shit, I've got no one to talk to. I think one of those scenarios happened that I was really scared of, and I just kind of dealt with it. Or I tried to change the situation. I think I like tried to get involved with one of the other group's kind of conversations, and just made eye contact, and then they'd kind of be talking and looking at me as well, and then I kind of got into the conversation. So you can kind of change the situation as well. The fashion shows and things like that, I don't actually get anxious to go to like shows and parties and things like that, because I don't know, I get more excited to go to them, I guess. Oh my god, there's so many questions. There's just too many to answer. I feel like this would be a good live chat, because I could just sit there for ages and answer all the questions properly. Hi Sammy, I have a question about being a mother. I'm 8 months pregnant, congrats, at the moment. Oh, what has becoming a mum taught you about yourself? Or do you feel like being a mum has changed you in any way? Love from Sweden. Hey. What's an analogy I can think of? The first thing I think of is like, it's like there's this door in your mind that's always just been jammed shut, and all of a sudden it opens, and it's like, I don't know, it's like a whole nother side of you can kind of open. It's really weird. So firstly, I just think you become a lot more loving, especially like I feel like I became a lot more loving while I was pregnant as well, like towards dogs and people, and I feel like I value people and relationships a lot more. And I think once you have a baby as well, it really makes you want to focus on and better relationships that you have with family and with friends. It also makes you, in a roundabout way, focus on yourself as well, because you're giving so much of your time to a little human now. It can be like draining, so you also need to give yourself time, even if it's when they're asleep at the end of the day. If you have like a 10-minute bath, or you know, like 5 minutes to read a bit of your favorite book, or it could be anything. But I think it's really important to practice self-care. There's so many ways, honestly. I feel like I've changed quite a lot. So one that you hear a lot is that you're less selfish. Giving birth in itself just makes you feel a lot more empowered and a lot stronger. Even though I've moaned about a few negative things, I don't think there's any way that has changed me that I dislike. Everything, in every way that I've changed, I think it's made me a better person, apart from being tired all the time. I like this one. This is from Dance, Fitness and Food. Hiya, you talk about diversity, you have the platform, but in your clothing brands I noticed there is not much diversity. All the models are slim and light in complexion. Is this something you're planning to bring to your range? A selection of people, all shapes, sizes and colour. Yes, I know it seems like that. We're a very, very young brand as well. And actually one of the first things that I said when we were developing the brand, like the ideas behind it, I said like I want to do different sizes. I want there to be different like sized models and different like models of different races. Yes, it's definitely something that I want to do for November night. We're working on the next collection at the moment, so yeah, hopefully by the time it comes to like doing our next kind of campaigns and shoots and lookbooks, that'll be something that we can bring. I've always been really aware of that, and yeah, it definitely is something that I do want for the brand, because it's something that I never saw anywhere growing up. You know, it's always the same kind of image. So yes. Emily Godet, do you plan to have another baby? Yes. I've never wanted to have an only child. Hopefully I do want to have at least 2 kids, but yeah, not at the moment. Not right now. But it's crazy how like biologically you, as a mum, you do think like, oh my god, I need another one. Like I'm like, Indy needs another one to play with. Okay, I think this might be the last question, and I feel like I haven't answered enough, so I'll do another one hopefully quite soon. But this question is from, oh god, I cannot say that name, I'm so sorry. But it's any advice on how to find your passion in life? I like just about everything, and I am interested in learning / doing a lot of stuff, yet it feels like I haven't found my niche yet. Please help. Thanks a lot, Sammy. Say hello to little Indy for me. I will. I think it just takes time. I think there's people that have only found out what they want to do when they're like 30, 40, 50. You know, there's no rush. I feel like everything is so fast paced these days with our lives that we feel like we should know exactly what we want to be doing really young, at like, you know, 16, 18 even. You know, like straight out of education, you should kind of know what you want to do, and then that's your life. But I think sometimes, I mean, some people do know what they want to do, and that's great. Start somewhere with some kind of, just somewhere, and then you'll learn quite quickly, I think, what you do like and don't like in that aspect, in that job, in that, I don't know, company. And that will guide you for your next step. And then you'll kind of, if you do the same thing, you'll kind of naturally find your way towards what feels right for you. And for me, a lot of it comes from feeling. A quote I love is it's something like, stay close to what makes you feel alive, or something like that. And I try and put that into practice a lot, especially even on YouTube. When I've finished like an advice video or a fashion video, there's certain videos that I've finished them and I'm like, that feels so good to have done. So I try and do those more and more. I kind of follow my heart in that way rather than my head sometimes. I've found as well another way to kind of chase that is to the more people you meet and the more experiences you have in life, the more the quicker you'll kind of be gravitated towards the right people who, the right things, the right way of life for you, I guess. I think that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked it, and hopefully it's given a bit of advice to some of you out there. And I really want to do another one. I've really enjoyed doing this video, and if you've got any questions, leave them down below, and I'll try and come back to this video for next time so I can answer questions, especially the more thumbs up ones, because then I'll know, like, you know, more people want to hear the answer to those questions. If you're wondering, my jumper's November Night and my earrings are And Other Stories, and on my lips is Charlotte Tilbury, I think it's 1975 red. I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.